Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hag Purim Sameach. Thank you to our lovely band, Kiss, for playing and writing more cowbell. Exciting. And writing the lyrics. How great. To keep the mood going, I have some Purim folk proverbs to offer you. On Purim, everything is permissible. After a Purim meal, no dog goes hungry. The remnants of the Purim meal suffice plentifully for the dogs and the cats. That's not that one. Next one. When Purim comes, one forgets all troubles. So we hope that this evening you will forget your troubles, able to dive into some revelry and excitement, and be a different person perhaps, and just enjoy the evening. We are going to continue on the screen, where we're going to have some readings from this book called The Five Scrolls, and also use your prayer books. Let me just get to the right page here. All right. And Mordecai sent letters to all the Jews, near and far, to enjoin upon them that they should keep the 14th day of the month of Adar and the 15th day of the month of Adar, the days of Purim. We Jews ordain and take upon ourselves and our children, and upon all those who join themselves to us, that we will keep these days in the manner prescribed and at the proper time each year. These are the days wherein the Jews had rest from their enemies, and the month which was transformed for them from sorrow to gladness, from mourning to a festive day. Without fail, we remember these days and celebrate them throughout every generation, every family, every state, and every city. We will make them days of feasting and gladness, and of sending gifts to one another and presents to those in need. The Jews have known light and joy and gladness and honor, and so may it be for us. We are going to have Sarah come and light candles for us, and also Rondi is going to join her. Thank you so much. That is on, the candle blessing is also on page 2, and then there'll be some more blessings on the screen also.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Careful.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lechadlik ner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim l'avotenu v'imotenu, bayamim ha'em, b'zman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achayanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh.
Thank you so much for helping us be a part of this wonderful season of Purim. All right, we're going to take a moment away from Purim. Perhaps some of you came just for Shabbat, which is normal and fine. So I want to offer you a meditation to help you get into a Shabbat mode. I encourage you to take a deep breath among the swirl of words, prayers, songs, stories. Take a moment to just be quiet. Just for a second, dive into your own depth, your own thoughts, and be introduced to your own silence. There was a great and mighty wind, splitting mountains and shattering rocks by the power of God. But God was not in the wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake. After the earthquake, there was fire, but God was not in the fire. And after the fire, kol demama daka, the sound of a fragile silence, a still, small voice. I encourage you to listen to your still, small voices that are inside of you and connect with them, if you can, throughout Shabbat and Purim. We are going to move forward in our service, returning to our prayers on the screen. Make sure we're all ready for certain words. For Haman said to King Ahasuerus, "There is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all of the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are different from every other people, nor do they keep the king's law. Therefore, it is not in the king's interest to tolerate them." Is there Hebrew? Yeah, okay. Aror Haman Asher Bakish La'avdi, accursed are those who seek only destruction. Do not think, said Mordecai to Queen Esther, do not think in your heart that you of all the rest will escape because you are in the palace of the king. Baruch Mordecai Hayed, blessed be Mordecai the Jew. And Esther said, I will go unto the king, though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. Barucha Esther Migina Ba'adi. Blessed be Esther, our shield, protector on our behalf. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will come to the Jews from another place. Baruch Hamakom Baruch Hu. Praise be God who calls us to acts of deliverance. We must learn about the 4 mitzvot of Purim as well, in case you have forgotten them in the past year. Here we go.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. What do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Purim. Well, we read from the Megillah. We read from the Megillah. We drown the name of Haman out. We scream and shout. We scream and shout. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. What do we do with 1, 2, 3, 4? Purim. Well, we make up warm seudah. We make up warm seudah. We eat and drink all day. We sing and play. We sing and play. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. What do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Purim. Well, we give mishlohanot. We give mishlohanot. We make gifts with fruit so sweet. We share a treat. We share a treat. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. What do we do with 1, 2, 3, 4? Purim. Last one. Well, we give tzedakah. We give tzedakah. We call it matanot. Let everyone eat. Help those in need. Help those in need. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mitzvot for Purim. What do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Purim. And if you come on Sunday, you'll fulfill all of those mitzvot.
Yes. Way to go. Purim is a festival of opposites. In the scroll of Esther, we enter a theater of good and evil, mourning and celebration, comedy and tragedy, true identity and disguise, a threat to life and ultimate victory. We live in a world of opposites. In all corners of the earth, we are surrounded by a landscape of violence and peace, hatred and love, wealth and poverty, abundance and hunger, equality and disparity. We are reminded by the Purim story that opposite forces must come face to face with one another in order to effect change. If Vashti had not challenged Ahasuerus, the cycle of abuse would have continued. If Mordecai had not pushed against Haman, the Jewish people would not have found freedom. If Esther had not used her power for good, the decree against her people would have remained fixed. And if we stand apart from misfortune and do nothing to counter the injustice taking place around us, we will continue to live in a world that is polarized and unjust. Continue on page 26 in your prayer books with the Hatzikadesh.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, מעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשא ברכו לעילם ינקום ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
Please rise. We're on page 28 for the Baruch Hu.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
We praise you, O God, sovereign of existence, who forms light and creates darkness, who brings light out of darkness, and in our fear brings us hope. Together, light and joy, gladness and honor. In these two we seek our God, in laughter, song, and dancing, in the teaching and the law, in the telling of the story, in the acting of the tale, do we fulfill the commandment that God's promise be fulfilled, to deliver us from sorrow to joy, from mourning to festive day. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Page 32.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אתה, תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת. אדוני אלוהינו משפטנו לכולם.
seated on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם בארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet.
God redeems us from the power of despots. God delivers us from the fist of tyrants. God avenges oppression. Together, God requites the mortal enemy. Pharaoh came to know the strong hand of God, and every Haman, God's outstretched arm. Despite all that befalls us, still we live. God's children pass the deadly waters, and the enemy sinks in the depth of the sea. With Moses and Miriam still we sing, with Esther and Mordecai and Shushan rejoicing. Page 40. Up there. A poem for Purim. We are caught up in a lost world, swirling around in the chaos of terror. Every day I search for hope under the snow and in the water trenches in my neighborhood. But just like God, hope is hiding. Perhaps we were born for such a time as this. These words haunt me. What can I do in this time of violence and disruption? Aren't there other times that we could be witnessing? This life is hard to bear, and it feels upside down too often. Sometimes I feel like Esther, hiding my Judaism. Other days I feel courageous like Esther. I proudly show my Hebrew necklace. Maybe I can be both Vashti and Esther. They both stood up for themselves and principles. I assemble mishloach manot for those I do not know, hamantashen, flowers and masks, and hidden beneath a smile. As the gift is exchanged, a hand is held. Perhaps the hope is between our fingers. This year, as I stare at the Megillah, I'm searching for the little aleph. I know it's in a different scroll, but I will still look for it, that little piece, the little reminder that things can get better. As I pour my drink, I think about Haman and Mordecai. And while we are carrying on from their time in this world, we all need a little celebration so we can see the daily miracles. This Purim, have a drink in celebration, or in sadness, or in commemoration. Make a basket for another, help those around you, and be grateful. Maybe all of this make a better time for us to be in. Continue with Utsu Etza. Turn to page 46. Rise if you're able to for the Amidah.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agir tegilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
God of the fathers, God of the mothers, God of Abraham, God of Sarah, who raised up Mordecai as a shield to the people and called Esther to become our protection, God of the elders, God of little children, who calls us to challenge us harsh and demanding, who demands of us strength and endurance and courage, and asks of us laughter at times of redemption, for victories and triumphs and days of deliverance, for miracles in those days and in this season, in days of Esther and Mordecai, in Shushan, that great city, for victories and triumphs and days of deliverance, when the wicked Haman rose up against us, who sought to destroy, to slay, and make perish, Jews young and old, men, women, and children, as in those days and in this season, for victories and triumphs, for days of deliverance. Let us thank and praise our God. Page 52.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Page 59. And we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers. the moon and stars that you set in place. What are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Page 264. As you know, when you practice the ritual, it's not really the ritual of blotting out Haman's name. I did it, and no one did anything. Thank you. It's a serious moment, but we are practicing the blotting out of hate and bringing in peace and reminding us how important that is. It is similar to a prayer on page 61, Lo Yesagoi. Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. Whoever wants to make war against us will have to hear of our braggers, to hear of Haman. We are going to, if we can, take a moment for our internal reflection and some silent prayer.
Torah, B'simcha, B'sason ve'ikar. LaYehudim Torah, B'simcha, B'sason ve'ikar. Ken tiheh lanu, Ken tiheh lanu, Ken tiheh lanu, Ken tiheh lanu. LaYehudim Torah, B'simcha, B'sason ve'ikar. LaYehudim Torah, B'simcha, B'sason ve'ikar. Ken tiheh lanu, Ken tiheh lanu, Ken tiheh lanu, Ken tiheh lanu.
We put on masks daily as we move about our days, encountering different people and situations. Sometimes it is just easier to disguise ourselves to avoid any deep conversations when you're in a hurry, perhaps when you're trying to catch a bus or go through traffic. Some scholars believe that our true identity is hidden behind the masks we wear because masks protect us and facilitate interaction with others. They can provide safety for us to hide our anxieties behind. We dress up on Purim, like all of you did, to share in delight of inhabiting another identity. Hiding can be a powerful way of revealing yourself. Oscar Wilde wrote, "Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask and he will tell you the truth." We often wear layers of masks, and if one is removed, the true self is not actually found beneath, but just another mask. And so Purim makes us wonder if there is actually an authentic self at all, or whether it's just endless masks upon masks. The miracle of Purim itself was disguised in natural events, and the custom of wearing costumes on Purim is an allusion to the nature of the Purim miracle, where the details of the story are really miracles hidden within natural events. A Jewish folklorist finds justification for masquerading in the Talmudic passage, "Where is Esther?" found in the Torah. It is written, "And I will surely hide my face from you." Esther is spelled Aleph Samech Taf Resh, and the phrase "I will surely hide" is spelled with the same letters, showing their similarities. To him, this was sufficient proof of the importance of masquerading on Purim, as well as hiding one's face with a mask. The first known reference to wearing masks on Purim is in the 1500s. And people wore the masks because they wanted to feel more sophisticated, and they felt somewhat ashamed of their dress and the childish tricks their characters were supposed to perform. And so to avoid any recognition and to achieve freedom of joyful expression, they would cover their faces with masks. In the Purim story, there are many masks that are worn. Haman, yes, thank you, pretends to be a faithful advisor to the king, and in that false role, he shows his true colors as a hater. Mordecai dresses up in King Ahasuerus' royal garments. Esther pretends to be a simple wife who loved the king, and in that role is unveiled as savior of her people. She puts on royal garments to enter the inner court of the palace, giving her a facade of power and authority. But perhaps most hidden of all is God, whose name is not mentioned in the scroll, but whose presence is felt throughout the whole story. And so disguise lies at the heart of the story and of redemption, teaching us that the hidden self can be the true hero of the story, that masquerade and masking can save the people. The Baal Shem Tov tells us, It's actually a mitzvah to dress up on Purim because then one cannot tell the rich from the poor. Therefore, the rabbis instituted the mitzvah of the gifts to the poor on Purim because when people dress up, the mitzvah of tzedakah may be performed in its most appropriate manner anonymously. But what happens when we pretend to be who we are not really? How much of ourselves can we show to the world? These are questions all of us wrestle with every day, and sometimes we decide to bear it all, and there's times we decide to cover it up. Many of us go to great lengths to disguise who we are. Most of the time, it's not because we are planning anything nefarious, but it's because we just want to fit in or want to be taken seriously. Disguises don't just fool others, they have powerful effects on all of us. Purim helps us ponder those questions because it involves an escape from reality, provides us with the hope that the garments we put on that seem only to mask our present realities can reveal our potential for change, our ability to bring happiness and fulfillment to our lives. The Purim story is a reminder that we spend so much of our lives dressing up and leading our lives that are in dissonance with our souls. We allow our disguises to lull us into a false sense of security and identity. We place our faith in the masks we wear rather than the natural beauty of our Jewish identity. And today, with so much anti-Semitism, many of us are tempted to conceal our Judaism and to hide under a mask to feel safer. But hiding ourselves only erases us from the overall makeup of the world. And it gives those against us, those like Haman, what they want. So perhaps Purim is an excuse for us to explore the masks we wear and why we adorn them at certain times. As you may remember from the story, Esther could only achieve her purpose by discarding her mask. She had to admit her Jewish lineage to plead for her people. And so the Purim story is a discourse on delineating the importance of returning to our true selves to carry out our purposes in life. The famous story of a Torah sage, Reb Zusha of Anapoli, tells us that before his death, his students came to him and were surprised to find him trembling with fear. They said to him, "Why are you afraid of death? In your life, you've been as righteous as Moses himself." To which Reb Zusha replied, "In the coming world, God will not ask me why I was not like Moses. God will ask, why were you not like Zusha?" And the same holds true for all of us. So as we don our costumes and immerse ourselves in the festivities of Purim, let us also engage in reflection on themes of identity, bravery, and diversity that underlie our holiday. May the story of Esther inspire us to embrace our authentic identities and to stand proudly in our truths. As we celebrate Purim, let us commit to building communities that reflect the joy, diversity, and inclusivity at the heart of this festival, honoring the true spirit of Purim as an example of a reality where every individual is celebrated for who they are. Shabbat Shalom. Hag Purim Sameach. We are going to offer a prayer for Israel. This is written by Avital Nadler. When you return, we'll sit, just the two of us, in the shower. You in the gentle water, I, facing you, will gently wash your hair, erase all your memories. We'll sing to you the song of the hyacinth and of the rain tickling the window. I will carefully clean between your toes every speck from the tunnels. I will tell you about the moon that shone. So many nights when you weren't here, I will wipe my tears off your face. The gentle water will wash them away. I will braid your hair, dress you in pajamas, just the two of us in bed, and a caring hug, and hope, and love, and fear, and prayer that there will never be a next time. We also want to offer a prayer of healing for those in our community, for those close to us. Today we are thinking of Steve Bloom, Linda Bloom, Judy Bogart, Cindy Carlock, Suzanne Christie, Joe Crane, Miles Eichenhorn, Roger Ford, Richard Fordyce, Howard Fridson, Amanda Fry, Lori Glick, Joel Katz, Gary Lincoln, Marvin Klein, Daniel Mayo, Micah Nichols, Sylvia Orduno, Carol Benovowitz, Eric Richards, Susan Rubenstein, Brenda Saperstein, Marcia Silverman, and Judy Zimmerman. If you have any names to add or correct, I encourage you to do so. We hold all those people in our hearts and join together on page 253 for Misha Berach. We join together for Aleinu. You want to explain what we're doing?
So we're going to be on, yes, please rise.
Please
we're
rise,
going to be in the second paragraph of the Aleinu, and we're going to be doing the Hashe Bota, which if you look at the second paragraph of the Aleinu on page 284, it starts 4 lines up from the bottom.
2. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction, he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher. When it sends us back to serve and bless the living, we learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence, and when a world will show them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember them now, they live in our hearts, they are an abiding blessing. We think of those who have passed away in recent days and weeks. Today we are remembering Eldon Laverin Clark, Margaret Wilson Clark, Roberta Feinstein, Alan M. Frank, Eleanor Raffel, and Valerie Sherman. We think of those who have passed away in this season in years past. We're remembering Lena M. Abrams, Robert August, Reuben Beanstalk, Joseph N. Brace, Irving Brodwin, Joseph Faber, Robert Kligman, Theodore Levine, Betty Lee Markle, Frank Miller, Pearl Norris, Eric Polk, Sophie Radowski, Helen Roman, Abraham Rothstein, Saul Salson, Ray Schindler, Libby Simons, Alice Krzycki, Geraldine Spalter, James Stegman, Jack Sweet, Miriam Wendrow, Fran Wygod, Joseph Willens, and Ronald Harlan Wollick. If you have any names to add or correct, I encourage you to do so.
Grace Christensen, Silic Peleus, Madeline Peleus, and Arthur Haddon.
And we rise in solidarity, page 294. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabbah, ve'amad divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'hayechon uvyomechon uvchayei t'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mivarach Leolam Olamei Almaya. Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal Shmei Dekudisha Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'almiran be'alma v'imru. Yahei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru. Amen. Osei Shalom V'imrumav, Hu Yasei Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru. Amen. Osei Shalom V'imrumav, Hu We have some announcements from Amy. I can't do it as well as you.
They're not that exciting.
Never know.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you to Gary for ushering, Gersh for streaming, our wonderful band, and Janet and Rabbi for a lively service, and Rondi and Sarah for lighting the candles. Join us this Sunday at 10:30 and see our religious school students perform a Dr. Seuss Purim spiel. The carnival study session and Hamantaschen baking will follow at 11. Ticket and Mishloach Manot information is available on our website. Join us next weekend for a memorable weekend celebrating Emeritus Rabbi Norman Roman's 50 years in the rabbinate. We will have a beautiful dinner and services on Friday, March 21st, beginning at 6 p.m., followed by Shabbat services. Join us again on Saturday morning for services and lunch, where we will be joined by B'nai Israel. Please be sure to RSVP for both meals, and due to limited parking, please try to arrange carpools for Friday night and Saturday. And unless you are a person that should be in a reserved spot, please don't park in the reserved spot because we're going to need those. You are cordially invited to the Sisterhood Seder. It will take place on Tuesday, April 1st at 6 p.m. Please be sure to RSVP by March 27th. Members are $18, non-members are $36. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Sorry, Amy, can you actually do another thing and do Motzi?
Sure.
Kadesh? Thank you so much. We are on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hidchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom tefillah lemikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava u'v'ratzon, hichaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'nei Avon.
Thank you. Our closing song is Hag Purim, page 369.
Chag Purim, Chag Purim, Chag Gadol HaYehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Zvirot Retudim, Haman Risha, Rash, 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 Haman Risha, Rash, 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 Haman Risha, Rash, 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 Barashanim. Purim Day, what a happy holiday. Wear a mask, wear a crown, dancing all around. Round go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Round go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Round go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. On this Purim Day.
Woo! Thank you to our band and for everyone for participating in this service. May it be that we always know how to choose and to renew ourselves, to change forms, but to preserve our inner essence. May it be that we seek and find meaning in the hidden moments, the moments of concealment. May it be that we believe in the possibility of miracles, even in the face of chaos and despair. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hag Purim Sameach.
Chag Sameach.